It's been 18 months since the release of your platinum album, Male Femina. You were surely not idle, using the time for, among other things, a trip to the Far East. What are some of the impressions you collected?
I want to stop this routine of rock and roll, and I thought it's important when you make a rock expression on lyrics to travel, to understand what happens in the world directly. So I decided from one day to another to leave my country, go to Japan first, to know some more experience about East, because I find in the East more musical ideas close to Italian ideas somehow. And I want to experiment also in dance, kabuki. I find a teacher, some movement where I can express myself with my body. And basically I have to go to China after Japan, because it was for me more important to go to China than Japan. Japan is very, in a way, is very American, very European, respect to Japan traditional world. If they copy everything from our world, it's more difficult to find very honest tradition. In China, it's China. China is not something you can tell about. You can go there and understand. So different from us. So China was a shock for me. And after I came back from this trip, I collect a lot of video and impression by Sony, and all these characteristics of this during this trip became the new idea of a record, how to project the new rhythm of a music, from the sound of the street, from a woman what she was selling a newspaper in the street, from the noise of a Milano, for instance, cars and metropolitan town. So it's like a diary. I did this record like a diary, because I had always with me my video camera and the Sony. By chance I record many things. That's why, discussing after with my producer, we have this idea to use this material as a background for my new record. Because it was in that we can use the sample as an instrument, like a guitar.
You have incorporated some of these oral impressions into two of the songs on your new album, Scandalo. Can you tell me something about Dea and Iapo Iapo?
Ecco, Iapo Iapo is an expression of a woman. She was selling newspaper in the street in Shanghai. I was passing through the street and I hear somebody, hey, Iapo, Iapo. I couldn't understand what kind of things was. For me it was music. And I just went near to her and I asked her, can you sing again? Somebody told me she was not singing, but she was just shouting. As these typical things are very common in Italy, in South Italy, for instance, or also in Tuscany. When I was very small, there is people selling things, screaming, we're singing. So this thing was in my video. And after Tiananmen, this Iapo, that it means I sell the last news, listen the last news of the night, Corriere della Sera, all the false news about the newspaper, because I was in Japan, I was in China, I was in Milano in the same period, and the news of Tiananmen was so different. It depends from each political department of a newspaper. Everybody used the truth of somebody, of this tragic moment, only for his own political idea. This was very bad, I think, and so I don't believe in newspapers. If this is what the song is about, Iapo is like a secret, because also the pronunciation in China, I am not very good, but Iapo became for me a slogan of something we know each other when you cannot say the truth, but exists this reality. And Iapo is also connected to There. That's why in the record I connect, because There was a typical song I write in 3 minutes. Something happens sometime, and I was in Milano immediately after China, so to be in Milano in Piazza Vetra, where I was there, and I have a moment of meditation. I don't know how to express this moment of connection between our world and China world. So There became a song of love, maybe, but of freedom, basic. There, goddess of freedom. Me, myself, I'm God, and not somebody else tell you what you have to do.
The title track, Scandalo, is the first single to be released from the album. It's also one of your most musically aggressive songs. Could you explain the idea behind the song?
Scandalo is a typical song of protest, in a way, because so we are the last period in Italy. The situation was like that. We are treated like children, stupid children, and the government make laws to teach you what you have to do to grow up. And all this situation is very boring. It's boring to complain about politicians. It's boring. So to have a scandal is a new way, punk way maybe, in this way to provocate an explosion in the system. Is good to provocate something.
For the Scandalo video, you chose Yellow's Dieter Meier to direct the shooting in Poland. What were your impressions of working with Meier in Eastern Europe?
First, I like to go in another country, not in a studio. When I make a video like that, it's important to have a certain vibration from a different place. And Poland, at the moment, was the right place also because Dieter was working 6 months there. And for me, it was a new country. And in the situation of a new changing of the world, of Europe, for me, it was interesting to see what happens in a country like Poland, where we come with capitalism and to see the reaction of the people. No? That's why the scandal is this. No? I think to bring capitalism in this country is quite a scandal because we must go back from the beginning after. And after this experience with Dieter, I like very much to make a video with him because it's very strong in the image. And so if you have some song strong like Scandal, it's good to have a cut of a video really like a painting, a video painting. For me it's like that, like a poster, like a manifest where you can say what you want. You know? So I think this the concept of the video to make with Dieter was good because it's strong. Everything must be strong because Scandal don't say bullshit, you know, or don't want things underneath. So for me it was very important to perform this song in the video.
You began your career by studying composition and playing in the cafes of Milan before signing your first record contract in 1976. Now you are playing to the largest festivals and venues Europe has to offer. Do you miss the intimacy of the small clubs accompanying yourself on piano?
But I like to play in any size of a hall because I don't mind if there is 100,000 people or 100 people. I think the basic is your projection of a feeling. You can go very well. The festival is something for me very rock because you go with a band. The expression of rock is important when you play with a band. In the club, I can always play and there's no problem, but I cannot project the same energy. If I want to freak out, I need a festival. Then I can really freak out. But in a club, it's more intimate and there's more for song that come directly to your soul.
You're launching a 12-country 44-concert European tour in October, which will take you well into December. On tour, you're accompanied by the same musicians that played on the new LP: Hans Behr, Rüdiger Braune, Chris Jarrett, Andy Wright, and Marco Colombo. How did you bring such an international lineup with 2 Germans, 2 Englishmen, and an Italian guitarist together?
I think the most important thing is that everybody is very much his country. If somebody is German, must be very German. An English person must be very English, it must be very Italian. That's why we come to good result. But not make compromise and try to change your spirit. I think I would never want that the musician that play with me change his way to be. I want that he put in contact with me, communicate to me his way to be because he's from another country. And then why music happens, music for me is international. International is a way of communication and a new language, I think. And it's important also to make another precision because Marco Colombo, that is the guitar player working the record, will not be in tour for his problem, but he's still my partner in music. And will be another person in this tour, a percussion player from Nuova Compagnia di Canto Popolare from Naples, is Franco Faraldo. And this is very important because to put some ethnic element that come directly from Naples is where we have our really big culture, rhythmic cultures come from Naples. For me, it's very important to make a ligament with them, with my band, and the percussion player, because it's something really new. I'm very happy about this new situation. Infatti Franco play also in the record, and now will be in the concert. With him we can make really something special. It's something really new, I think, because the world don't know what we can do with such instrument that people from Naples do at the home somehow. It's very African somehow, but it's Naples.
You co-produced Scandalo with David M. Allen, best known for his production work with The Cure, in London's Rack Studios. Was it different for you working with Allen in London?
No, I think Dave is a guy that I wanted to meet also since many years. Since Connie died, I didn't find another producer where I can combine everything I learned and everything I found with Connie Blanc. So with Dave I came back to the process of how to connect the ethnic music with rock and roll. And we studied some months before in London, we experimented something together, and finally we went also to work in Germany. We finished the album in London after this pre-production. So the difference was that we can work everywhere when the team is good.
Italy has produced more internationally successful musicians than any other European country, excluding perhaps the UK. What is it, in your opinion, about the Italians, their music, their language, their nature, that makes the rest of the world so open to them?
I think we have in the past, every country have its own music. We can say in Italy we have a melodrama, in Germany we have a Brecht-Weill, for instance, a great musician like Wagner, like Schumann. And after the American come to Europe and bring the rock and roll, the rock music, we start to speak everybody different language. Everybody want to have a visit, like to have the chocolate. So when the Americans start to make present with chocolate, we change our music. And nobody believe anymore in their own roots. Everybody had to be so American in Italy. I couldn't find a producer that like popular music or romance like Puccini. So it was very difficult for me for a certain period to combine what really was the expression of my voice with the idea of a producer, because everybody wants to make such a music. So I think after Modugno in leisure music in Italy, nothing new happens, except now, like you say, where we start to have some good artists, good band that bring out the real spirit from Italy, the ethnic elements as well, and they are not afraid to be Italian singer. And I think it's a courage, because we have some point more, especially the language is one of the best in the world for music. And not only English is the best for rock and roll. I believe that in this moment where is saturation of a market, American market, of this product, or also English, the people want to discover more the roots of different countries.
This summer, you had an enormous European hit with Una Strada Italiana, a duet which you co-wrote and sang with Edoardo Bennato. You and Edoardo have pledged your royalties from the song, which was the official Italian anthem for the Soccer World Championship Games, to Amnesty International. Are you actively involved in this organization or any other organizations?
I'm not involved in Amnesty International as I don't like inscription to any club, diciamo, any situation. I think we must be present with the support of rock, of economic support for different causes, for social problems, because there is many people that need help, so you can do something with your job all the time. In this case, I have many doubts to do the Italian Cup hymn, because I didn't like first the music, I don't like the project very much, but when I discussed with Edoardo, that we are quite good friends, we say, okay, we must take this situation, we must take this opportunity to express something also in this situation, to express with lyrics maybe an ideal way of international approach to the sport. So I think the lyrics were very good, and after we find the lyrics, we say, okay, we do. And because it was an international project, we say, let's give it to Amnesty International. We see our strength, our project, it would be not lost, but we also can do something that can help somebody else.
Born on 14 June, you are astrologically a Gemini, which you indirectly sing about in the song Due ragazze in me, Two Women in Me. What is a Gemini for you, and do you think it has affected your work in any way?
I think when I look to the sky in the night, I see the stars, there is a lot of stars in the sky. Maybe they have an influence, astrological energy. Maybe I don't trust this. Sometimes I can read and I have jokes about. But maybe to be born in a certain part of a period of a year, different climate, different moment, influence for sure your character. So me, I think to be a typical Gemini from the picture that Gemini has. Two person in me, it's true, two women in me, because certain time I'm black and white and go from the day to the night in my choice each day. So the people around me is a little bit tired of it sometimes, and it's very difficult to be one person with the same person all the time. And also I'm like that in the music. Sometimes I go from one side to another, but it's me, and I must accept what I have.
As early as 1981, you composed the soundtrack for Luciano Manuzzi's film Sconcerto Rock, in which you also sang the song Ora. Following a 30-concert German tour with Udo Lindenberg in 1983, you sang and acted the role of Titania in Gabriele Salvatore's musical version of A Midsummer Night's Dream. 1987 saw you performing Brecht Weill songs together with Jack Bruce, Sting, and Eberhard Schöner. Do you intend to continue developing your talents as an actress and interpreter of more classical standard material in the future?
I never made plan what I have to do. Normally, if there is some project I like very much, I say yes, from one day to another. And that's why I did something like Jack Bruce, Sting, with opera with Brecht Weill, because like the material, because it was a good moment to play certain songs. It was still modern to play the material from Brecht and Weill. And also because when I did a movie like Midsummer Night's Dream, was something new for Italian movie, a combination between movie and theater. The Salvatore was a filmmaker, a theater maker from regista from Teatro dell'Elfo. So this expression are different from to be in tour and to make a record. When you go in tour, you are more rich of this experience. This experience can help your own composition, your own expression, and it's important also to be sometimes to interpret some song of somebody else and make the song yours. It's not only I like to write my song, but also like sometimes to play or to sing song from the others, because I think it's the same. So when something you believe is good.
Mm-hmm. What is the range of your personal musical taste?
For me, the music is infinito. There's no an end or a beginning. I born with classical music, with Puccini, Beethoven, Bach, very classical, traditional music. Because I was in Siena, for me the music was basic this, and the rock was so far away. Since I moved to Milano, because I escaped from my town, and when I started to found the rock as expression, I also discovered I have a voice. For me, the research is around the voice, how to develop in the future in different way. But at the end, I think the popular tradition, the musical tradition, more Italian, more close, like now to Naples, I feel very near. So the range is there. Mm-hmm. It's not in the past, but this is the future. Mm-hmm.
The song Fiori del Veleno, The Flowers of Poison, which is also included on the new album, has been chosen as the theme song for a 3-part television series based on a book by the million-selling author Johannes Mario Simmel. The film, which will be broadcast throughout Europe, is a massive international co-production involving Italian, German, French, and Spanish television companies. Was the song written before the film, or did you write it especially for the film?
I don't know. I had this movie, I choose my song. It's not something I prepared before. I don't mind too much if this film is Europe, German, French, can go everywhere. But for me, the song was part of my record, and if I like the song is a composition for my record, not for the film.
Which is your personal favorite track on Scandalo?
My favorite track is Scandalo. Is one of my favorites, but I think all the song together is part of this Scandalo. It's not that Scandalo is my preferred. I think all the album, there is one aspect, each song is important and different. It comes from Scandalo on.
Do you have a favorite track in your whole career?
It depends from the moment. Always, when I write a new album, I like more of a new album than the past. But many songs are also my first record is a song I like very much. So Rebecca is a song that I like my first album. Since poi I write America. From America we can go to Ragazzo Europa, to Scandalo.
You have 2 wishes. One just for yourself, and one for something for the whole world. What would you wish for?
For myself, at the moment, my special wish is to make a very good tour and to go on in the music for a long time. Never stop to make my career. For me, it's important to play, to sing live, and to meet new musicians and play with musicians. These are like. So also one is the adventure. The side is all adventure. For the rest of the world, it's something similar. In the sense, I don't like this system under the control, and everybody must know what they have to do. So I think we live in a world too much precise, and too much under the control. And everybody have this risk to make a life like that, because when you're born already in a system like that, you cannot change much. So I think freedom is still a modern word.
Thank you very much, Gianna.